Happy Sunday. How you doing? Well, I gotta trim this. Hope you had a good Saturday night last night. We did. It's only a little bit. Well, it was an interesting week last week. There were things I expected, and there were things I would have never expected. What I expected were Sanfords, pickles, sniffing, trolls. That's a given, you know. What else can they do? You know what I mean? That's all they are capable of doing when you really think about it. Yeah, is that better? Yeah. I had a lot of lovely things said to me. But this is the best one. I saved the best one. See, I talk about this shit out in the open. You know? For some reason they think it's going to ruin my life. I hope it makes you guys feel better. You know? Hope it improves the quality of your life. You know what I mean? Puts a smile on your face. I'm glad I can be of service and help. You know? This is the all-time... I think this has to be the all-time best one I've ever heard. This Uncle Sanford Pickle Sniffer deserves a prize. He said, "Hey, Brian, good to see you back, and you recovered from your car accident." Well, that was 3.5 years ago, so I mean, the recovery was bound to fucking happen sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? Any idiot could have figured that out, but then again, is there anything lower than an idiot? Because if there is, that would be him. I'm glad you recovered. I guess being a Marine and a biker helped. You know, you're right. You are right. In all seriousness, you are right. Being in the physical shape that I've been in for pretty much throughout my life, being active in sports as a kid, you know, my life in the military, taking care of myself when I left, you know, staying in shape, being with guys that are not pussies and wimps, you know what I mean, being involved in activity that I don't think you would have ever wanted to be involved in. It's quite physical, you know what I mean? So yeah, I guess these two areas did play a role in how it helped me, that it may have killed someone like him, like you know? So yeah. He also expressed, I guess, maybe in his mind it was empathy. He told me that it must have really sucked not being able to put my dildo in my mouth for a month. You know, I did respond to that. I told him, I said, yes, and I was very jealous of you while you were able to be sucking Sanford's dick while I wasn't able to put my dildo in my mouth. That's how I respond to them. And I told him I appreciated his concern. I haven't heard from him since, you know. I wonder why. His comment suddenly disappeared. They have a habit of doing that. They pull what's called a hit and run. And this is where they're slick. This is where they're slick. They will create situations just to be able to say something that did not happen. This has happened numerous times in the past, and I see it's already happening again. They'll come and leave a content trying to insult me. And like I say, you know, some of you should probably go get a GED, so at least insult me with, you know, words that are spelled right in sentences that have a correct structure and they're not incoherent and looking like they were, you know, written and typed by a crackhead with ADD and dyslexia. You know, they'll come in and they do shit like that. And that's how I respond to them. Like I said, I don't argue with them. I give them one shot, I give one reply, and I ignore them. You know, they come back again, then they're shit out of luck. Then they get blocked. You know, I'm open about it. I'm honest about it. I give them their shot. I don't delete shit. Only when they become fucking obnoxious. Then it's like, I don't want to, I just block them. And I guess when you block them, you know, I noticed that too. I blocked 4 people last week. They kept coming back and coming back. I'm like, hey, guy, I don't get into common thread arguments. I leave one reply and then I see they're back 2, 3, 4 times. Bye-bye. Real simple. They don't have block anymore like they used to have before. You used to have mute, hide user from channel, block, and then a couple other things. I don't see block anymore. So I clicked hide user from channel. I took a shot. I guess that does the same thing, because they disappeared and their comment disappeared. But in all the other cases, and it's all the cases, they come and they drop a hit and run, you know. And then later, when I'm looking at other things, when I get messages, I notice their comments gone. And then they go and tell people that I deleted their comment. No, Sanford does that shit. Even ask people. I know he used to have Big Wilbur, his wife, and he's got some other guy. Something about a zero. And some guy, reminds me of a truck named Dakota or something. I know he used to have those people on his yak sessions. And they basically just monitored the comments. And anything that came up with it, hey, you asshole, what happened to your engine? You're full of shit, this and that. These comments get deleted. So he has his people that monitor his feeds for him to delete comments that he don't like. You know what I mean? See, Sanford deletes shit. I don't delete anything. But that's what they do. They come, they pull a hit and run, and then delete it so they can go say, oh, see that? I said something to Cabral, and he deleted my fucking comment. No, pal. You know, you can say that all you want, you know what I mean? People want to believe you, that's fine. Don't matter to me. Does not matter to me in the least. I expect this kind of behavior from you. I expect it. You're not surprising me. You're not making me angry. You make me laugh, if anything, and you give me something to fucking talk about. You provide me with content. Don't think I'm going to pay you. Oh, no, that shit ain't going to happen. I get my content for free, and you provide it the same way Sanford does. Last week, you know, when I came back, I said it was only 2 people that I made aware of it. Will down in Jersey and Dave down in Florida. And it was like, you know, nobody needs to know anything. I'm not on here. You know me, how I feel about subs and all that. And, you know, I just do what I do because I do it. And who sees it, fine. Who doesn't, that's fine. You know, whether you like it or not, that's fine too. I'm not going to, I never lost any sleep over it. I never will now. But then over the course of the week, a lot of people that I knew from the past, I was in communication with you, one by one, suddenly they were like showing up. And like, wow. That surprised me. That surprised me. A couple, and it was the same thing. Hey, Brian, glad you're back. Sorry to hear about your sister. And I just want you to know that I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. One guy, 2 people actually, have different account names than I had previously known about. In 2 different situations. One of the situations caught me by even bigger surprise. The first one, hey Brian, how you doing? Sorry to hear about your sister. I have a different account name now. I got locked out of my main account and after going through a bunch of bullshit, jumping through hoops and barrels and whatnot, you know. I finally gave up and I created a new account. But you know me from before as Underdoggo. And I went, oh shit, yeah, I remember you. How you doing? How you been? I like that name. I used to teach them. I used to say, there's no need to fear. Underdoggo is here. I have Poly Purebred, where I will take out my Super Energy protein pill from my ring. I always got a kick out of his name, Underdoggo. He got back in touch with me. And then somebody else. And this was the biggest surprise of all. I would have never expected this in a million years. One guy comes back. Hey, Brian, good to see you. Sorry to hear about your sister. You won't know me by this, another one. You won't know me by this account name. But you know me by my other one. And I have to admit, I used to troll you a lot. I was part of Sanford's, you know, club. And you were right. I came to see what this guy's about. You know, you were right. And like I've said, it ain't about being right and wrong. I don't care whether I'm right or wrong. I just tell you what I see. You know what I mean? You don't have to agree with me. It's not about I want to be right. I'm just talking about what is obvious to anybody, you know? He says, my other account was Ugerection. Hugherection. Ugerection, like, you know, big dick. I think at one time I told this guy, I said, oh yeah, if you're hooked up with Sanford, you must have a fucking ego the size of Mount Rushmore too. Ugerection, yeah, right. Your dick's probably so small you couldn't satisfy a flea, you know. He trolled me for a while and then disappeared. I guess he realized, like a lot of them, you're not going to get anywhere with me, you know. If you want to get in a pissing contest with me, you better bring a fucking umbrella, because I can turn you into a fucking puddle like that. And you can take that to the bank and collect interest on it. He started laughing. He says, yeah, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I kind of regret doing it. He says, in fact, there was somebody else on here that I was trolling too. And if I ever get a hold of him, I'm going to tell him the same thing too. So that was very, very unexpected. And that was a very decent thing for him to do. And I guess that's about it. Hope you had a fun, safe Saturday night last night. We did. Hope you have a great day today. And I'm going to go hook up with my friends, my imaginary friends, in a little while. We're going to get on our imaginary Harley Davidsons and we're going to take an imaginary ride. Yeah. You know, with friends. Kind of funny at times. I can kind of connect little things. I talked, you know, recently about Sanford's friends, how he goes through them like shit through a goose. His friends are only people that serve a purpose to him. He can use them in some way, shape, or form that will benefit him with content, views, and money. And then he fucks them over. And I think I even mentioned, I said, gee, it's kind of funny, you know. I don't think any of Sanford's old friends want anything to do with him. They don't want to see his face, hear his voice. They don't want to talk to him. They want nothing to do with him. And there must be a good reason for it. You know, there must be a good reason for it. I'm not a firm believer in, oh, it's chance and luck and, you know, karma and fate. I don't buy into any of that. For me, any situation that happens, there is a reason for it. Something happened. Some chain of events took place between people that caused that end result to happen. They don't happen by themselves. It's not by accident. There was a reason. And for some reason, I thought about how I'm not even going to really question. I think I did mention it to Dave. I'm like, how are all these people that, you know, I knew before, how are they showing up? How'd they find me? And I said, you know what? I don't even need to know. It's happening for a reason, I guess. And it made me think about those of you that, you know, we kind of reconnected. And I admit it's good to see you. We had some good times, and I hope there's more in store in the future. I'll try to do my best to hold up my end. Then I thought about Sanford's situation with how his friends list keeps getting very anorexic. I guess there has to be a reason for that too. There's a reason for why things are happening with me, with people, with friends. And there's a reason why he has fewer and fewer and fewer friends. And speaking of friends, I'm looking at the time. I have to get ready to go meet my friends. And there is a reason why we are friends.